Africa is one of the richest continents on earth. So why are millions of Africans still struggling? I believe the answer begins with leadership. Welcome to Durotimi Daniel, real conversations about Africa, leadership, and life. Now, let's build Africa one idea at a time. Do you know that Africa is one of the richest continents in the world? Personally, I feel Africa is the richest because the things that we have in abundance naturally, I don't think any other country has it in abundance like we do. So Africa is definitely, for me, the richest continent in the world. You can argue it, you can argue as much as you want, but the point here is we don't have shortage of leaders. We don't have shortage of leaders. In fact, we have, like I keep saying, I believe everybody is a leader. Everyone is a leader, regardless of um, your background, where your demography, things like that. Everyone is a leader. So we are just in short of servant leaders. Leadership is not about titles, it's about responsibility. We are in short of servant leaders. Most of our leaders we have there today are people who are just there for their pockets, for ego, for title. They just want something to make them feel special about the society. In the society, they want to feel better, they want to feel higher than others. It almost has nothing to do with serving the people, which is very, very unfortunate. So we don't have so we need to start looking for ways whereby we're going to fill those leadership positions with servant leaders, not just leaders, but servant leaders. What is servant leader? People who are there, leaders who are there to serve, leaders who are not there for the houses they want to build, or the cars they want to buy, or the iPhones, or the luxury travel thing and all that. No, people who are truly there to serve the people. And this is why we are making videos like this, to encourage, to inspire people out there to start becoming leaders in Africa. Honest leaders, the right leaders, servant leaders, not just leaders who are just there for the political game. Some of our leaders, politics is just about game for them. They're just having fun, nothing more. Also, institutions matter more than individuals. We need to start coming to a point where we value institutions more than individuals. We need strong countries are built on independent courts, the courts that you cannot bribe, the courts that would that know what they call justice. Some of them are built on good education. Strong countries are built on strong institutions, accountability, systems. We need systems. We need systems, a model that works. The current model we have in a lot of countries in Africa is not working. I mean, we just need to admit it. It's not working. Unfortunately, we need to figure out what model works for each country in Africa. We don't have to adopt the Western model. We need to figure out what works for us. If you look at some of these countries abroad, for example, the model Italy uses is different from Belgium. The model Belgium uses is different from Poland, and the rest of the country. So, but in Africa, we just have this model where we vote. If it's democracy, we vote every 4 or 5 years to change leaders and all that, and that's not enough. We need to figure out what works for us as a people. We as Africans, we are unique. We have our own unique identity. We need to look into it and figure out what works for us, rather than trying to figure out what works for white people, or for people in the West, and trying to make it work for us. It's not possible. And also our citizens, we have responsibilities. We cannot just leave everything to the government. Good government requires responsible citizens, honest businesses, active communities, and informed voters. Most of our citizens are not even responsible. They leave everything for the government to do. Will it work? It can't work. You don't have a job. You don't have a sustainable income, and yet you impregnate someone. You don't have a sustainable income, and yet you impregnate someone. How are you going to take care of the child? And then tomorrow you're going to call the government all sort of names. You are not willing to learn a skill to become a better person. You are not willing to learn a business. There's so many things that you are not doing. Your community is there. Like you blame the government for maybe some of the vices happening in your community, but what are you doing as an individual about your community? What are you doing about skill acquisition? One of the initiatives we are having in East Africa Now organization is to help people develop skills. Young people, not just young people, everybody, no matter the age you are, develop skills that will be relevant in this time and in the times to come. So definitely we need to come to that point where we also see ourselves as a responsible citizen. We need to be responsible. Everything cannot just be government, And also we must develop future leaders. It's very, very important. This is why I keep hammering on this topic of leadership. Leadership must be developed in schools, in homes, in churches, in mosques, in universities. Leadership is a skill. In fact, I made a video earlier this year talking about top skills for 2026, and leadership is one of them. I was even surprised when I compiled a list and I saw that leadership is one of them. I was surprised. I didn't even know. We need to teach leadership in all organizations. This is one of the reasons we are starting the Pan-African School of Leadership. We need to teach leadership. People need to know that it's not until you become a head of an organization before you become a leader. You are also a leader in that place you are. In your house, you are a leader. What are you doing about your brother? What are you doing about your sister's situation? What are you doing about your dad, your mom, your siblings? I mean, I know we cannot do everything, but sometimes when you help one or two people, those one or two people you helped will also help a lot of people, and you need to let them know that they need to look out for others, not just themselves. Leadership must be taught everywhere. Africa's future is still bright. So Africa's future is very, very bright, and it's going to happen in our time. It's not going to happen 50, 70 years from now. It's going to happen now. So there's so many young people out there. There are so many Africans building companies, creating technology, solving problems, leading the communities. But we want more. We need to come out and rebrand the African name, so that when we want to travel and apply for visas, they don't think we want to run away. No, we need to. In fact, I'm believing that Africa will be so good to the point that we don't need to travel to any of these countries. We will not need to apply for visas to anywhere we want to go. They will be the one begging us to come, and it's going to happen in a few years from now. But we need to start talking about these things, and we need to start doing our own part. We need to make Africa better for us, so that when we want to travel to Schengen, it will be visa free for us. Because home is good, but if home is not good, who will trust you that where you are going is you're not trying to run away? Possible. That's what I believe. We will get there. Definitely. We'll do everything to get there. Thank you so much for watching this video. The leadership crisis in Africa won't end because we complain. It will end when people choose character over corruption, service over self-interest, and integrity over power. What do you think is Africa's problem? What do you think is the leadership crisis in Africa? Let me know in the comment section. And if you're passionate about Africa, life, leadership, click this subscribe link, like this video, and comment. Let me also know your thoughts. What do you think about the leadership crisis in Africa? I would like to know in the comment section. Thank you all for watching. I will see you on the next video.